why, because he does have it on him. Maybe I didn't take my top. Anyway, okay, hello. So I mostly want to wait till there's viewers, but I do have a couple things I'd like to talk about. And I'm not going to be rolling more than 30 or 45 minutes. So I was a bit confused how he was confused when I said that the first place said that it was going to take an hour and 30 minutes, although I am a little confused by that. It is, I guess it's a Saturday. It might be a game night. And, yeah. Oh, I forgot my thing upstairs. I'm already getting cold shoulders. I don't want to be giving you the cold shoulders, or getting them myself, for that matter. Sorry about the lighting and adjusting it. Okay, I'm going to put my coffee in. Actually, I think if I remember correctly, I had to make some, unfortunately, so that's just another distraction, but that's okay. Get that started, and then I'll go up and get that, and then, yeah. Did I not put the key back on here? I know I did when I left. Did I leave it in the door? Put it somewhere? I can't recall. I know on the way there. At least we got 5. But the dog wasn't coming to the door, and I'm like, you need to be fixed? No, we already paid for that. My socks, I believe, are down here, though. Okay. I figured you'd be wondering anyway, so I'd have to tell. So, yes, for anybody that sees this after it's posted, you're very welcome to, skip ahead. I don't know how long it was going to be, so you can ask that, so it should be fine. You're welcome to skip ahead. I just really need a couple minutes here, and I got things started maybe a little bit prematurely, but, really, that's interesting. Huh. Speaking of getting things started, I almost forgot I wanted to start the coffee. I find the kitchen floor a lot more slippery in socks than it used to. I'm not sure why, really. Listen, you're so good, hey? You're so good. You have a bit of food there, but we'll give you your usual serving. First, I'll kick it towards you, though. Yeah, when we first got him, I thought, just like the slippers or something else I was talking about in one of my recent videos, I thought, oh, he's too soft. But, actually, this isn't bad. I didn't know there was that much in there. It's very light colored, though. Looks more like tea. And I don't want my coffee to look like tea, or my tea to look like coffee, for that matter. But different teas are different, right? That they are. Now, this. I don't know what the brand of these are. I almost thought it said there. That's fine. I do, and I don't feel like I need to be wearing that thing. I did. Interestingly, pretty quickly after, I don't. But it varies. There's actually another lady that I follow, and one or two of her people follow me too, that, there's a thing in the shows as well. So, yes, I'm just getting coffee started. Would you like any? Never mind, you left. You're rude. You judge too quickly. Not giving you any. Your own coffee. Sorry. But, I put the stuff in. I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. Yep. But if you are, that's the main thing. I appreciate it. Oh, didn't completely filter the water through earlier. Hello, hello. Sorry for the funky lighting and this and that. I'll be settling in a moment and just making some coffee. And I do have a topic aside from pizza, but pizza's a pretty good topic. It's just not maybe super duper in depth. Okay, but I just couldn't handle all that. Just kidding. Maybe your phone died, so if that's the case, then I forgive you. But yeah, and then we'll watch that, and we'll watch that, and we'll watch that, and it'll be good, man. Okay, so he's got music playing up because I'm really looking deeper. I don't know if you why I don't know. They're always so quick. This place is better. We were actually going to order from a place I don't even know if I'd ever heard of that we have here. Therefore, I don't think it's a chain restaurant. However, and we spent quite a bit of time looking at the menu. Maybe someday we will try them out. I think they may be kind of new because they had just over 125 reviews, just over. But the total reviews were pretty popular. So, they had some unique things. They had a really unique lasagna. And again, the only reason I can think of that they would have done this maybe is to be unique. People want to sometimes argue, and we don't have to, about pineapple on pizza. They had pineapple on the lasagna. But they also had garlic crusts. They also had, there's a certain seasoning, a certain herb that they seem to have in a lot of theirs. He's not one particular on pizza. I don't think I am either, really, for the most part. But he almost considered it. Now, because of a brief bit of this, I'm going to be talking about pizza. I realize that light might be a bit distracting, so I'll lean this on cheese. Yeah, and actually, one of the ones, it said extra cheese, which is fine if you don't have extra cheese to add. But we do, so I wouldn't have really needed that. But anyway, for those that want to say certain things about eating meat or not eating meat, just kidding. To that I say, I'm a little picky. I totally understand. I mostly understand vegans, vegetarians, but the thing of the matter is that not eating it does not mean that it's not available. It does mean that more of the people that like it can have it, but yeah, it doesn't mean that what looks different is that being open. Doesn't mean that it's not an option. Like it just because everybody becomes vegan or whatever, that would never happen. It's just like with any other food. We all have preferences and this and that, and yeah, doesn't mean that it's. So what are you preventing, really? But I do understand the other things that probably go through the mind on that topic. But I'm a picky eater, and so it's a way to not be picky, or it's a way to get a bit more variety. I was very surprised where we ended up ordering from did not have a whole wheat option or a gluten. Well, I didn't ask about gluten, but when they had no whole wheat and you said regular or thin, I figured, and I hope I didn't mess up G's choice, because he wasn't really around when I ordered it. So I was going by memory. It's been a while since we've ordered a pizza. And, yeah, he doesn't like really crusty, like not necessarily doughy, but like really, I don't think he likes thick crust, so I think I did it right. But, just having a piece of a cookie while I wait. Because I've been thinking about this pizza for a couple of days, actually. I was looking around places, see if there was anything new I wanted to try or whatever, and we were kind of working our way through. We're going to be having the Greensburg casserole tomorrow with leftover stuffing, possibly chicken and green beans. Well, actually, the beef. I don't know why I put the chicken there because I don't think it's not beef. It's plant-based. But we accidentally got regular chicken. I don't know how they can call it chicken breast because breast means two things to me. And flat, like sandwich meat, isn't really it. But that's probably just, you know, me not being a connoisseur in that way. But anyway, so yeah, you know, there was one thing I kind of wanted to wait to say, but I'm not going to be rolling that long with this, and then probably not again tonight, but we'll see. I might just watch stuff. I have a new subscriber that's got some videos, and she's a very slow and gentle speaker, but I'm curious about her content, so I've actually looked at a bit of it already, but I might look at more. I'm going to keep this door open just to get some air in here. Lock the other one in case they come up and leave the gate open and come to the door. And of course, some of them only like to come up the steps, but like in the winter that's kind of stupid because like there's snow on the ground and we don't have shoes on. We can put them on, but I mean our gate kind of stuff, but it shouldn't. Gate's open. It's also not that high. You could step over it. And a lot of them do. A lot of, you know, I've noticed certain deliveries they do that, but no, okay. So I'm really waiting out here until the coffee is done, but I'm also, I guess I could use the duration counter as my timer, and I probably started this about 10 minutes after ordering. He said 30 or 40 minutes, so 20 minutes, that's going to come quick. I'll go until it gets here though. Pretty much. So, but yeah, so yeah, this place we were going to try. Oh, so that was the other thing I was going to say. I'm starting not in a wild way, but, or not in like a whole bunch of big bottles, what some people would call a health nut kind of way, but I'm starting to take vitamins. And, you know, I've noticed a difference. Like, we had a brunch, and we had a meal before Christmas on the 17th. But other than that, I'm still kind of eating. Yeah, it's unfortunate that they charge more for specialty crust, which might be needed if you need keto and you benefit from that, or gluten-free. Like I have celiac, but I don't really want to pay extra money for it, so you know I'm not rich. But anyway, what was I saying before that? But yeah, there was, yeah, I might try that place in the future sometime. I'm actually kind of warm. I'm going to take this off. Coffee is ready. I almost don't want to sit down because I'm only going to be sitting down for 10 minutes and then have to get up. Really, I should have said, you know, yeah, we're hungry. You know, yeah, quick is nice customer service, but, you know, don't rush it. Because I can podcast for another extra 5 or 10 minutes. And G can finish his fitness lesson, which he might do anyway. You know, the Bobby afraid of the dog, even though it's great, just because he barks and has a bit of an invite. But anyway, so basically, I forget what I was. Oh, right, so vitamins. And you know, so I started taking them around the holidays. I just had a small supply from a loved one and from a relative, and you know, well, I love them berries. And sometimes I act like more than one, but I guess I'm gonna talk anyway. So, but yeah, so And I was really experiencing, more symptoms with my neuropathy beforehand. It seemed to help that. I mean, I was also eating a bit better because it's true, like I say, picky, autism spectrum. Some people would associate it with, and pickier than I used to be for sure. I used to, but wish we could plug a Christmas tree with somebody. So I have to unplug the keyboard. I would like to see about unplugging the lamp and maybe doing it that way. But um, so it's like it's something that I need and would benefit from. Um, but in some ways, I can manage to eat a little bit better around my pickiness as well. And I'd rather that than in like a vitamin doesn't quite feel like a pill, but it is. But that's something I might want to talk about more. Kind of a friend in mind a little bit, but also just it's a topic that I'd like to talk about, so I might. But maybe not in depth now, I don't know. But basically, yeah, I prefer holistic options and think that there's great benefit in that. And if you do enough of that and you put it into your routine enough, I think that you can probably do pretty well. You don't have to take something just because a doctor says we have to, unless it really makes sense. So many mental health conditions can be bettered by having supportive people to talk to, by things improving in certain areas of your life. And I am, again, if they work for you, great. But I'm one of those that says, I talked about it earlier with somebody. I'm one of those that says, um, um, that if you can get by not being on meds or not being on a lot of them, you don't have to worry about side effects. You don't have to worry about, the negative things that they might be kind of putting in your system. And yeah, makes sense to me, folks. Yeah. Oh, and that was the other thing I wanted to quickly talk about. And maybe I've said as much about the pizza thing. There was one other thing, and I don't want to forget it. Honey, what are you doing? Hey, get up from there. Dad put that stuff there earlier, but sorry, I'm just talking to the dog for a moment. But yeah, so we got two of you here. Oh, no, not now, we don't. Sorry, I was shouting. I wasn't shouting at you. Because the dog was going around by some bags by the couch, and there's no need for the... But one thing I did want to say is that cup is hot. At the moment, I'm not seeing my coffee spoon. I had no idea I'd spilled this much coffee under the sugar thing either. That's why I don't like having my charger cord out here. So far, so good, but I don't know why I don't have it out there and just charge it up there on the thing. Like, that makes sense, and that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, there's a lot in there, but I think there's room. And it is actually a longer cord than that, so if I need to make it longer, I don't mind it. It's just annoying. Be right there. Like, by the time it gets here, I'm not going to be ready to eat it yet. I'm going to tire myself out. I was starving earlier. He just barks because he's a dog. I mean, it's true. Please shut up, okay? You have someone, I'm sure you'll be happy to bark at shortly, so just hush. So, still have not gotten my sugar, I don't think. I'm gonna fill this. Yeah, I'd really like to find the syrup, so. But, sorry I'm multitasking. I'm looking forward to relaxing as well, but it might not be during the stream, because it might not be. Now, I think I see a car pulling up. Man, they are speedy. But, you know, they have certain ones already pre-made. Although banana peppers and for G and bacon is, I think, somewhat unique. But this might well be them. Hopefully that gate's closed. Our dog is here.
Oh, yeah, I closed it.
Okay, thank you. I don't know if I have it in all these points. I'm trying to get a bunch of points.
No, I don't think that's only good. It's the 571 box.
Okay. Sorry about that. I'm just happy to get rid of them.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, have a good night.
Have a good one.
Close the gate. It's actually quite lovely. Not that but I sort of expected him to be, and he wasn't. So, I mean, not like I said, I don't know what I could do. And he did say he'd have to count, so he was particular. But I think he thought I wasn't going to give him so many small coins. Just I've had them, and I want to get rid of them. But yeah, he was pretty good about that. What's the saying? I don't know. I don't think I put any sugar in my coffee. I suppose I could taste it and check it, but if I don't have enough, I'm going to be like, ew, really? Yeah, so, and luckily he did close the gate, because, well, the dog probably would have stopped at him and tried to just check him out, like, oh, because I guess I should say, for, you know, I'm only 24 minutes in, for any that don't know, that's something about me, I'm bi, so, you know, but yeah, so, there you have it. Another thing I'm on the spectrum of, but, and that's a great segue, just for a moment, and then I do want to get to this, even though it's not a new place, and to be honest, I don't think it's ever been known. I find that it's a little bit dry, and, yeah, but, you know what? at the same time, it's really hard to, it's not like it's like unedible, and and so I'm thankful, and it is pretty good. So, but I just wanted to quickly say something based on something that and then I'm curious if I still like 7-Up, because I hardly ever drink soda. If not, it's for G. But somebody said something on her video about how one is not broken and doesn't need to be fixed. I want to reframe that a little bit, I think. You may be struggling with lots of things that are common to struggle with. That does not mean that there's anything wrong with you or anything abnormal. But whether we say because it's the start of a new year or just because it's a good way to be, always trying to live your best life and be well, I think that's important, so if that means that you need to work on some improvements in your life and be on a wellness journey, then that's what it means, in other words, when I hear not needing to be fixed, I mean, it's good to have self-acceptance. It's good to know what's fine and what you might want to work on. But I'll tell you that I hear in that previous statement. Honestly, I'm not sure if the person who I saw posted, who was one of my recent subscribers, I don't know how recently it was posted, or I think she recently subscribed though, because not super long ago I looked and I didn't notice her then. But it wasn't obvious whether I had inspired it or not. Maybe I didn't. There was 2 other statements that were said with it that almost I like better. But basically, what I hear in it is just a moment. Is settling, and I think a lot of times it's not necessarily a good idea to settle. I mean, sometimes we have to. I mean, as far as like just I guess there's an acceptance. Some people will use Katy Perry's birthday. It was just anyway, some people will use and then cheeseburger is essentially pizza, but whatever, it's all good. We'll say religion, God will handle it. But I don't know. I think that we got to help them. If we believe that, I feel like we got to do things, and a lot of people would agree with that. Oh, we don't do this because of this, or we do this, whatever. Anyway, this isn't meant to be a religious post, but accepting various beliefs. But yeah, basically, yeah. I think again, some things are fine as are. Other things you need to decide: is it doing something good for you in your life? Is it helpful? Does it feel right? If it's not, and it's like affecting your day to day or most of your days, and it's something that you can do different things to better yourself, then really there's no shame in that. It's something that we all should be doing, right? So that's kind of my thoughts on that. I don't know if I really have any others, but if you'd like to comment, or wait until either tonight or tomorrow, late morning, dinner time, then, because they were not right limited, but close, then we could talk about that more maybe. Because yeah, like I say, this is a channel that me and the other person in the home use, and I just don't know if that's a topic, if that's one of those topics like, but you know what, we're not often getting notified anyway of them after the fact for some weird reason, so it's if I stumble upon them. So that's not saying don't post them, because I do try and look back. I'm going to ask that curious question again, and this is a shorter one, sort of. So, but do you have any favorite videos on this channel that you've seen throughout the year, or since we've been connected, or anything that you remember being talked about that you really appreciated and enjoyed, or any favorite titles that intrigue you, and then feel free to comment on them. And then if I haven't gotten back to you and you happen to see my next live because you've hit that bell and subscribed, then I was going to say you've already probably subscribed, but maybe you haven't. Then you can let me know. I commented on a video, it was something about this, or this was the title, and I'll go look. But I'll try and remember to anyway, because I do appreciate the comments. So anyway, I'm going to appreciate some pizza now. So, but yeah, on that topic that I was mentioning, I'm not sure what else I have to say about it at the moment. But I guess we'll see if it gets comments, and if so, then that might give me some further thoughts. Okay, take care, bye.